A couple of years ago, I read a very, very interesting article by Elie Wiesel. Elie Wiesel is a very well-known Holocaust survivor. He wrote a number of best-selling books, including Night, Dawn, and his memoirs, and a lot of other things. And he wrote an article about this week's parasha, this week's Torah portion, the book of Noah. And he asks a very simple question. If you look at the story, Noah is chosen to be the one, and his amongst his family members, to be the ones who are going to perpetuate humanity. And he is saved along with his family members in the ark. And after the flood, when the world is dried out, he leaves the ark. And what's the first thing that he does? He essentially plants a vineyard, grows the grapes, and produces wine, gets drunk, and totally debases himself. That's what the Bible tells us. So Elie Wiesel asked a simple question. How could it be this person who was chosen to perpetuate humanity gets off a boat and drinks and gets drunk and debases himself? How could that be? And Elie Wiesel gives a very profound psychological answer. He says that many people who survived the Holocaust survived, but they had an enormous sense of guilt. They looked around, and the world that they knew was totally gone. Their family members were gone. Their friends were gone. Their communities were gone. And they asked themselves, why did I survive? Why me? And they felt very, very guilty. And says Elie Wiesel that Noah is the very first survivor. He stepped off the ark and he looked around. The communities he knew were washed away in the flood. All the memories that he had of his family and friends and so on and so forth, washed away, all gone. And Noah felt inside an enormous sense of pressure, a sense of guilt. How did I survive? So what did he do? He got drunk. He lost himself. Judaism tells us that one of the most important or profound reasons that God put you in this world is that you are meant to be in search of yourself. It is completely antithetical for a person to spend their life trying to lose themselves. And that's the reality. A lot of people are very unhappy with their lives. They're unhappy with who they are. They'd rather even be somebody else. And sometimes people get drunk because they want to lose themselves. Sometimes they don't feel like they can be fun if they're trapped within their own personalities or by their conscience. So they want to get lost. They want to lose themselves. And they'll just drink and drink and drink. Or take drugs. But they want to lose themselves. The Torah wants us to spend the years that God gives us in this world in search of ourselves. And as we get older, we learn a lot more about ourselves. And you're not meant to be the same person when you're 20 years old that you were when you were 10. Or when you're 25, you're not meant to be the same person that you were in high school. That a person is meant to grow up and to learn from their experiences in life. And life, as you don't need me to tell you, has a lot of challenges. It's very, very difficult. It's very difficult. And sometimes what we need to do is to stare the reality in the face and to confront it. Instead of trying to lose ourselves. And sometimes it's not even drunkenness. Sometimes it's just vacation after vacation or going to the movies or whatever it is. Okay, I'm not talking about having a good time and enjoying yourselves and going to the movies and on vacation. Of course, everyone should do that. What I'm talking about is when people use that as an escape to lose themselves. And they don't want to confront the reality. But the Torah wants us to discover my purpose, to discover my mission, to discover what I'm doing here. And that is very, very hard to find. And a person has to confront whatever they need to confront and not to avoid them. I'll give you an example. So you go to the gym. Who are the people that are in the best shape? Who are the most fit? Who are the most buff? It's the people who have the most resistance on their weight machines. The more resistance you have, the more physically fit you are. And it's true in life as well. Problems are not meant to be avoided. They're meant to be dealt with. They're meant to be confronted. And that makes a person spiritually and mentally fit when they confront instead of always trying to go around. That you have to deal with the realities. And all of us are given opportunities. And we have to grab those opportunities, take advantage of them. And I think one of the things that everyone at some point in their life asks themselves, everyone, is what is my relationship to the creator of the world? What is my relationship to my religion? And instead of just ignoring it, we're meant to seek answers to those questions, because that's a big part of who we are. And when Noah comes off the ark, he can't deal with the reality. He's got to lose himself. But we have to deal on a daily basis, on a yearly basis, with the realities. And we have to learn that the most powerful thing in this world that will build you up is to confront the things that we need to deal with. Wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom from the land of Israel.